Hello, welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. A little too much glare there. I tried to use the new camera. The audio on it is screwed up. From what I can't get it fixed. But anyway, I'm gonna bring it back to Walmart. All right, got this old one working. The Logitech camera that won't die. Try, but it comes back to life. Okay, I had two Irish blended whiskeys. I'm going to do this for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I could do this taste challenge tomorrow, but I think it'd be easier just to do it today, tell you the truth. All right. I have the famous Tullamore D.E.W. I got it for $13 at Walmart. I know it's a lot cheaper. It's at least half price. I don't know why they had it for $13, but I didn't ask. I just bought it. Tullamore Daniel E. Williams, established in the heart of Ireland, the Tullamore Distillery, perfected the craft of blending triple distilled pot still malt and grain whiskies. They use pot still, malt, and grain whiskies. A blend. 40% alcohol, imported by William Grant and Sons. So it's not owned by the Daniel E. Williams Tullamore Company anymore. It's I'll say Clan McGregor. They own Clan McGregor too. William Grant and Sons. This blend for many years, aged many years in Oloroso sherry and old bourbon casks. Oh, that's right. So they use an old sherry wine and ex-bourbon barrels. No age statement given, though. Interesting, though, because the competitor, which has only been on the market since 2016, 6 years, is Drumcastle. And it is also aged in ex-wine barrels and ex-bourbon barrels. What type of wine? Well, they don't say. So maybe it's a combination of whatever wine barrels they happen to get a hold of, you know. But I can't say because I don't know. So you go with what you have. And what you have here is limited. There's no website listing. If you look up Vons supermarkets or Albertsons or Super Value or Jewel Osco, they have it listed and they just give basically the information I'm giving. Ex-bourbon barrels, ex-wine barrels aged 3 years. Elegant and smooth. And it says bottled by the Founders Company, Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, but the Founders Company is an alias registration name for Sazerac, all right? They have like about 100 different names. The common ones are Legacy Distilling Company, the Founders Company, County Line Distillers. See those a lot. And it's all Sazerac. And you can tell Sazerac bottles because they have a lip at the bottom like this. That's their common bottle. It's not their only design, but it's their common design. Same type plastic cap of various colors. So many fantastic colors. All right. So I'll do this taste challenge, then I'll be soon enough bringing that microphone, camera, that webcam back to Walmart. Tell them the mic doesn't work. Camera's fine. Camera looks good. Microphone. I was getting 4% pickup on it. And if I yelled really loud, I could get 60%. This camera here, plug it in, work, no problem. Okay, anyway, Drumcastle. I did it. I taste challenged it, blind taste test against Jameson, which why pay $22 for Jameson when you could get Drumcastle for on sale right now? Albertsons $14.99. My answer was I wouldn't get the Jameson. I went up against the obscure Duhans, which there are video reviews for Duhans. But I couldn't tell them apart. Drumcastle, very light. It might have coloring added, but I'm starting to doubt that it does. It's very pale. And the Duhans was paler than it. Even paler. Now the Jameson's got some color to it. It's aged 4 years. Would it get this dark in 4 years aging in used oak, bourbon, and wine, sherry, Oloroso sherry barrels? It might. Usually that color gets taken on very early when you have the charred oak, that charcoal. Look at the Ardbeg 10. It's 10 years aged. Hardly has any color. It's so pale. And they tell you right on their website, we do not add coloring. So that's probably what they really would all look like, pale like that. And this Drumcastle is very pale. And like I said, the Duhans was even paler. BC's Beer Reviews. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. We missed you at Stout Sunday, but I know most people don't drink Stout at 10:30 in the morning Eastern time, 9:30 Central. Good afternoon, Ron. Good afternoon to you. My friend David told me 9:30. That's kind of early. I said, I know. I know, but we do it every Sunday more or less. Okay. I can't look down because I'm going to see the color, the shade. Honey top white bread crust. Do these taste or smell that different than the Dimple Pinch Scotch? Not really. You say, but that's Scotch, fool. This is Irish whiskey, fool. I know all that. I'm just saying they don't smell that different one to the other. I'm talking about those. I don't mean all Scotch and all Irish. Obviously not. And that's the thing with Irish whiskey. Triple distilled. They distill it once. Then they distill it again. Then they distill it a third time. Look at some of those vodkas. Some of those vodkas 10 times distilled. Even Taka's 4 times distilled. And that's a low end, a very inexpensive one. I saw a new label design for Taka yesterday at Rouse's. I said, what is this? Taka 80. Be hard to believe they get rid of their classic label, though. I said, is this a new design? I'm thinking right now, is this a new design or is that just an alternative label? Well, this is not about Taka vodka. All right, taste time. A lot of vanilla. I don't know why. I have some ideas why. And I remember the Drumcastle having that. Let's go with the Tullamore. The Tullamore D.E.W might have it too, though. Glad that turned off. It's got vanilla, yeah. But you know what? This one has a lot more honey-topped white bread crust. As much as I've talked about that, I should go buy some Sara Lee honey-topped white bread, huh? But I just bought bunny bread thin. I've never seen that before, bunny bread thin. I've seen the plantation. I don't know if they call it that anymore because, oh, plantations. I'm so offended. But people are ignorant, and the small and the classic or whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about bunny bread except it's sweet. It's loaded with sugar. It's probably not that healthy, and people love it. And I don't ever buy it because it's so high priced. Of course, you're buying the name, and they don't have the decals in there anymore. With all the bunny heads. All right. This is mostly vanilla, and there's not a whole lot of honey top white bread crust. That one has vanilla and a whole lot of honey top white bread crust. Body's medium on both, and the finish is kind of lingering, but not too long. Which one tastes better? It's hard to say. Now, if I pay $14.99 for a bottle of whiskey, and I go over here and pay $26 for a bottle of whiskey, and I can't really tell which one's better, guess what? The $14.99 wins by default. Now, in my case, it's true. I only paid $13 even plus tax for the Tullamore D.E.W, which is an extremely irregular price and not a price that you are going to see. Okay, so don't even go looking for it because you're not going to find it for that. I'm sorry, but you're just not going to. I mean, you're not. Okay, you're not going to find it for that. So there's no use even saying, oh, let me see, because you're not going to. I can't really say which one I prefer because I like both. They both taste fine. One is more vanilla oriented and one is more of a combo, vanilla and the honey top white bread crust. So it's a personal preference situation here. It's really not a quality issue. Is the Tullamore D.E.W much better than the Drumcastle? No, because I don't even see that as better. Is the Drumcastle much worse because it's lower priced? No. So in a normal circumstance, not these crazy sale prices that I'm always telling y'all that I get, which is the truth because I do get those. But in a normal price situation, $17.99 for Duhans, $25.99 for Tullamore Duhans. Sorry, I'll start again. $17.99 for the Drumcastle, $25.99 for the Tullamore D.E.W. I don't see an $8 preference. I don't see an $8 benefit. Like you could pay $8 more, but you really don't get anything more unless you want that stronger, like I said, honey top bread crust, meaning, in other words, a little bit bolder, stronger flavor. But I wouldn't say a better flavor. So I'm going to say this is the Drumcastle. No, it's the Tullamore. I couldn't even tell them apart. So that's even more of a reason why I wouldn't pay more, even $1 more in this case. Now, that's twice in a row. I can't remember if I got it right on the Jameson versus Drumcastle. Can't keep track of everything in my mind. But that's now we're getting it wrong every time. I'm not finding, you know what the reason is. I'm not seeing anything too distinguishable about the Drumcastle. There's nothing bad about it or off-putting about it, but there's nothing that like it stands out. You say, but oh, that's Irish whiskey. It's all kind of ho-hum like that. Yes, it is. I would agree, but there's some that going to stand out, like the Bushmills, and I don't know about Patty's. No problem. All right. I'm not using the camera because it wouldn't work right. The video, what you see, will look good. The audio was horrible. So I was shocked because I thought, oh, this camera, it's supposed to be so easy, but it wasn't. I thought your Goose Island Beer Hug reviews were good. That tropical beer hug is better than Bell's Hop Slam, in my opinion. Craft Beer Tastic says. I agree, because Hop Slam, they have honey added for one thing, so it's flavored. No slam against it on that. But it's like, it's not a slam. It's more like a hop kiss, like a kiss of the hops. It seemed like over the years it got blah, like bland. Maybe it always was bland and we weren't used to its blandness or something. And it's expensive. So would I buy Bell's Hop Slam again if I can get a whole 12-pack? A whole 12-pack now. Not a 6-pack, a 12-pack of Beer Hug for $17.49. I'm pretty sure it was $17.49. I can look it up. I have the receipt down there somewhere. The answer is no way I would do that. So I would get the Beer Hug. And I tried the Neon Beer Hug, and that was better than the Beer Hug, the tropical, even though it was lower alcohol. It was better. Joe Hill says food and beer reviews in the future. Well, somebody was just picking on me about that in the comments. But I was like, this, I never heard from this person before in my life. And he's starting out with, what makes you think you can do beer reviews along with food and get a taste for beer and all of this hostility? I was like, no, I don't want to deal with this kind of person. You know, I don't answer to people like that, because I don't come at people like that. Food and beer reviews in the future, probably. You must have a hankering for some Armour maple syrup Vienna. It's been a while. No, I don't have a hankering for that one. That would be like my least favorite Vienna sausage. But I like the Vienna sausages. Victor Meza says, hello, Ronald. No Tecate Alta at the store this morning. I've been waiting on a reliable review from your YouTube channel. I had never seen that beer. I never seen that beer, Victor, ever. Except on the internet. Never seen it in real life at a store. Sorry. I'd buy it. Well, I wouldn't buy a 12-pack. Wouldn't buy a 6-pack. I'd buy a single to try it, but I never seen it. Now, I bought the 12-pack of the Beer Hug variety because I had the Beer Cub original. And it was so good, you know, so I said, oh, I'm sure they're all going to be good. And I'm halfway through the pack, and they got 2 winners, so I don't see why the other 2 wouldn't be winners. You know? No, I mean. So anyway, as this goes, it's kind of a washout. I mean, couldn't tell them apart. They both taste fine, especially if you like vanilla. You know, it's a really strong vanilla and honey top white bread crust. I don't know how else to describe it, and sugar water. So Drumcastle. I don't know if you can get it or not. All right. I really don't know the distribution. I can't get it in this parish. I have to go to one parish over. Really, I have to drive over 35 miles to get it. I would not drive 10 miles to get it. But if I happen to be in that town, like I was, then, you know, I bought it. I wouldn't go looking for it, but it was there, so I got it. You know, fine, no problem. And it's a credible product, and it competes very well, obviously. Tullamore, well, pretty much everybody sells this, so shouldn't be a problem. Now, what about the 12-year-old and the 26-year-old and the special rum cask version and all that? Well, I haven't seen those anywhere, so they may be around, but I haven't seen them. They're probably very nice. I mean, all the companies are doing that now. Once one of them started it, they all started it. Now they got the Johnny Walker High Rye blend. It's not a rye whiskey, it's a high rye. High rye Scotch, and then they got the Tullamore D.E.W Caribbean rum cask. They got the Dewar's rum Caribbean and the Glenlivet Caribbean rum. I mean, they're all doing it. So look at all the Jack Daniels versions they got now. I was at Total Wine yesterday. Man, they must have had 6 or 7 different Jack Daniels variants that I never saw before. Never. But then the one I wanted, the Jim Beam Rye, they didn't have it. They were out. I said, I have to be looking for it. Well, I'm not in a rush. I don't need it for a few months. Tullamore D.E.W gave me the worst hangover. It did? It says familionaire. Well, you might have drank a little too much of it. This is it for me today. Bye-bye whiskey. Okay, next taste challenge, Tuesday. If anybody wants to see what it is, I'll let you know. If not, we'll get off of this. You were saying Goose Island disclaims that their beer contains wheat. That's right. The can says contains wheat. Do you think that's the same type of disclaimer when food is produced in a factory with tree nuts, like an allergy legal thing? No, because those disclaimers will say something like this product is produced in a factory that also makes peanuts. And it'll say that, and some peanuts may have gotten into the product, they're just protecting themselves. I mean, probably no peanuts are in it, but there could be some crazy, almost impossible chance that they're in there. But this can didn't say it might contain wheat or it is produced in a factory that makes wheat products and so forth. No, it just says very clearly, definitively, contains wheat. Okay, now that's a pretty clear-cut statement. Contains wheat, period. So I would assume that it contains wheat. I only see wines on Rick Steves Europe. Oh, I don't know what that is. All right. So going once. I'm talking about to tell you what's coming up Tuesday. Going twice. Gone. But you can find out Tuesday what the next taste challenge is. It's not going to be that big of a surprise. Anyway, good afternoon to you, Ronnie S. If it was shipped FedEx in buckets, it has wheat. Oh, really? Show us, please. Okay, Craig. I think if you look at the bottles of Goose Island Bourbon County Stout, it says on there contains wheat. I think it says that. Patties is going to go up against Drumcastle. Patties, well, the old bottles say Patty, no apostrophe S, Patty. And they had a multicolored map of Ireland with different, each region was a different color, but they changed the label about 2 years ago. This is Patty's, same product. No, it has not been on the market since 1779. A blend of grain, malt, and pot still whiskey, same thing. But the distillery has been around since 1779. So that's what they're saying. It's the distillery, not the brand. The brand's only been around since like, I don't know, like the 1920s when people started asking for this guy's whiskey so much. He was a salesman and he was always trying to promote this company's whiskey. So they said, give me that Patty whiskey. Or give me that Patty's whiskey. So they said, well, hell, they trademarked the name and they made it Patty. And it's going to go, what am I doing? That's the wrong whiskey. It's going to go up against Drumcastle. It's going to be the same result. They're going to taste about the same. So chances are I'm not going to be able to tell them apart. And chances are I'm going to say buy which one's cheaper, which in this case is Drumcastle, about $2 cheaper. About $2 cheaper. The Patty wagon, right. He want water? Let him drink Patty water. All right. Show and tell. You, says Panthers Rule. All right. Well, I better get off of this. I got some things to do, and y'all got to go watch Progressive Discussions with their open topics. So y'all take care now.